So has Bitcoin put in its local low at 65k? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the key areas you need to look out for on the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts, and also some potential profitable trade setups on altcoins. So let's get into it. Starting as always then with Bitcoin itself, and seeing as the monthly candle close is nearly upon us, just under a week away. Next Thursday is the candle close. We'll take a quick look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum monthly charts, but more importantly, the Ethereum BTC chart. So as I say, start with BTC, looking pretty good on the monthly, as we talked about in our last video. The fact that we've held 58.7k throughout the entire year, pretty much since we closed over it in February, all the way from March up until now, we have closed all monthly candles above that 58.7k level, which is good. Now we just need to see a break of these highs, obviously 71-ish k, break into new all-time highs. That would look pretty good. But as I said before, I do like these big deep wicks that we've made in July, August and September. It looks like buyers stepping into the market, and we should get that push. Maybe we have to wait until the presidential election in about another 2 weeks time, and then we'll sort of see that push. But as we've talked about before, and as we'll take a look at in a second, Q4 is always, or historically, very good in terms of Bitcoin's performance. So fingers crossed we see a little bit push a little later on. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. And as we talked about on Monday, we do have this diagonal resistance at around, which meets price at about 68.6k. Rejected it on Monday. Had a bit of a dip throughout the week, but as you can see, a lot of that candle eaten up now. We've got quite a nice bullish wick forming on this weekly candle. So this is pretty much the last resistance until 71k, and then it's new all-time highs, fingers crossed. So break this diagonal resistance and we should be off to the races. If we go down to the daily time frame, now as we talked about in Monday's video, there were several key levels that we needed to watch out for. So we talked about this level here at 66.7k, which was the shallowest potential bottom area. So this is where we were on Monday. We were actually testing that level. It was the top of a daily fair value gap, as you can see. And then the next level below that, which we talked about, was the moving average 21 and this daily level of 65.4k. And the other aspect of that level as well, the added confluence, was the fact that that was also the 382 on the Fibonacci retracement from the lows of the 10th of October to the highs of Monday itself. As you can see, we pulled into that level perfectly and had a nice strong bounce, which is obviously very good. Then we talked about the potential of a deeper retracement down to 64k, which I said would be the deepest pullback that I would expect for this uptrend to maintain its structure. But we didn't get that low, fortunately. Hit 65k, and we've had a nice solid bounce, and we actually managed to close the daily candle above that daily fair value gap as well. So we held that daily fair value gap, tapped the moving average 21. All looks very bullish indeed. We just need to get past this last little bit of resistance, as I say, the diagonal weekly trend line, as well as this 68.3k daily resistance, which, as we know, was the top here back on the 13th of June, and then all the way through the 21st of July through till the 29th of July, and we've only just managed to get a daily close above it last week, deviated back below. So this is obviously a strong level of resistance. We get past this and the diagonal weekly, and then, as I say, it's up to that weekly level of 71k and then all-time high. So fingers crossed. As I say, we'll see how the rest of the week develops, but at the moment, looking pretty strong. Nice, decent recovery from that dip on Wednesday so far. If we take a look at Ethereum then, and again, let's go to the monthly time frame. Now, this isn't looking as good. Unfortunately, ETH has shown a lot of weakness, well, pretty much throughout the entire cycle, but particularly over the past week or so. So we talked about the fact that on Monday, on the monthly time frame, we were looking like we were closing or back above the weekly monthly moving average 21. Unfortunately, it looks like we're dipping back below that, although it's there or thereabouts. So nothing too much to worry about. But in terms of levels, there's not really too much to look at on the Ethereum monthly chart. Let's break down to the weekly. And unfortunately, as I talked about on Monday, we did have this resistance here, this weekly fair value gap, or the bottom of it, and then the weekly moving average 21, as well as the RSI 50 and a bearish retest, which is also forming a bearish divergence. You can see that playing out or indicated on the LC trend and momentum indicator. So as I talked about before, this is a 3-in-1 indicator. You've got these momentum bars, which work off moving average crosses. You've got your RSI, and you've also got the RSI divergences, which appear as well. So if you want to check that out, we've got a free version. We've also got a paid version in our Traders Lounge, which we'll talk about in a second. But as you can see, Ethereum not faring too well this week, pretty much giving up most of the gains. In fact, it fully retraced last week's weekly candle. We're having a little bit of a bullish wick so far. Let's take a look at the daily, and again, doesn't really look that pretty. We're pretty range bound, as you can see, between sort of 2800 and then the bottom of the range about 227. It looked like we were finally breaking out. We poked above that weekly fair value gap on Sunday, but as you can see, deviated, fully retraced, and we're back below the daily moving average 21. That being said, as you can see, the moving average 21 is pretty much just going sideways, so it's clearly not in a trending environment. So wouldn't give too much weight to the daily moving average 21, as opposed to Bitcoin, where as you can see, it is actually in a trend. The moving average is going in an upwards trajectory, as opposed to Ethereum, which is just going sideways. And as you can see, price is really respecting it that much anyway. But it's always good to see price above the moving average 21, obviously for bullish price action. You can see it's struggling to get back above the RSI 50 as well, which is another sign of strength and weakness. So we'll see what Ethereum does, but at the moment it looks pretty boring, and it doesn't get much better when we take a look at the Ethereum BTC chart either. If we take a look at the monthly, now I talked about on Monday the fact that we were holding the monthly level of 0.04. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Okay, I suppose we do have another week to go. We could well see this turn into a bit of a wick, which would be quite bullish. You imagine if this turns into a wick and this candle manages to turn green or white on my chart, it would be. That'd be pretty positive. But at the moment, you can only work with what the chart's showing you. And at the moment, it is showing absolute weakness. Look at the weekly time frame. Yeah, we got back below the weekly moving average 21 back in the middle of July, and we've not even got near it since. So yeah, it's not looking too good, unfortunately. And then the daily just doesn't look any better either. So we'll have to see what happens with this monthly close. But if we do close this monthly candle below 0.04, it's probably worth reevaluating your altcoins. Maybe, I know it's a pretty bad time to be getting from alts into Bitcoin when Bitcoin dominance is already quite high, but we could see it go much higher. You know, if this key support is lost on ETH/BTC, things could get a lot lower. And if we actually take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart itself, this looks primed to head up towards 63-64%. Now, take it with a pinch of salt. This is an index, not an actual price chart. But if you looked at this at any other chart, you would clearly see a strong uptrend, a breaking of resistance here on a high time frame as well, and pretty much nothing but air. No real resistance between here, which is about 59%, and 64%. So just beware. It's been pretty bad for altcoins so far. It could get a lot worse. Speaking of altcoins, let's take a look at some of the trades. In fact, talking about trading, if you want to see more trade setups, head to our website, learningcrypto.co.uk. Check out our Traders Lounge, where we've got our Discord, we've got live trading streams, or trading live streams, I should say. We've got trading setups, community chats, all that sort of good stuff. This is the Discord. So as you can see, this is the swing trades area. This is the day trade chat. And also we have the trade success room as well. And you can see lots of profitable trades coming in, not only from our analysts, but also our members as well. So if you want to learn to trade, check out the Traders Lounge on our website, learningcrypto.co.uk. Moving on then to the altcoins then, let's take a look at it. So these are altcoin trades that I have entered going into. I entered 2 of them yesterday and 2 of them today. So if we take a look at ADA on the daily time frame, this is simple range play. In fact, 3 of the 4 trades are just simple range play. So you can see ADA daily range lows down here at 34 cents, daily range highs at 36.5 cents. You can see we've been bouncing between the daily range lows and highs ever since the beginning of the month. So basically taking along here, I actually jumped in yesterday after this wick, tapped the daily range lows and bounced. We've had another test of it today. Seems to be holding the range lows for now. Obviously stop losses down here. So if we do close below the daily range lows, I'll probably cut it anyway. But basically looking for it to bounce off the range lows up to the range highs. I'll take TP1 here at the range highs, move stop loss to break even, and then if we do break out, have a bullish breakout, then I've got a TP2 up there at 39 cents. I'll take a look at the other 2 range plays. So you got XRP here. I've tried to make this trade 3 times, and 3 times I've been I've hit TP1, moved stop loss to break even, and been stopped out of break even 3 times. So going for a 4th time here. But essentially, again, weekly fair value gap and daily range low down here at 52 cents, which is where we are at the range lows. We've got the daily mid range up here at 58 cents and the range highs up here at 64 cents. So as again, simple range play, not really looking at anything else in terms of indicators, just going off of the range, trying along the range lows up to the range highs, simple as that. TP1 here at this daily fair value gap at 57.5 cents. Got a TP2 around the upper quarter of the range, about 61 cents. Then TP3 will be up at the range highs, 63 cents. Curve, another one. I've tried this before, and again moved stop loss to break even after TP1 and got stopped at break even again. But again, same as XRP and ADA, clear range on the daily time frame. These are the range lows down here at 25 cents, range highs up at 35 cents. So entering along here, stop loss below all these wicks. TP1 will be where the daily moving average 21 is, in case we come up and reject like we did before back in the middle of the month. So TP1 there, move stop loss to break even if it gets up there. And then TP2 will be at the mid-range, TP3 all the way up at the range high. Pretty good risk reward as well. That's a 13-to-1 risk reward on that. Not too bad at all. ADA risk reward is about a 5-to-1. And then XRP, if I chuck the tool on, so entry in around here, stop loss would be just below this wick. Up to the top, that's a short, not a long. Give me a second. There we go. So that is looking like about 6-to-1, so not too bad at all. And then finally, BNB entered this yesterday due to the fact that you can see this clear level of support and resistance here at $580. Broke above it, so breakout level, come back, retested it, held it as support, held the RSI 50 as support with a green trend bar, and held the moving average 21 as well, which is starting to trend in an upward trajectory. So entered here, stop loss below the daily level. TP1 is up at these previous highs on the 21st of October at $606, and this daily level of resistance at 610. We've not had a daily close above $610 since what's this, the 12th of June. So I think if we do break above $610, it'll be a very fast move up to $657 around that weekly level of 662. So that's what I'm aiming for. TP1 at the daily level, just in case we reject it again. If we break over the top, TP2 will be there, and then I'll have 20% of the move left intact in case we break the weekly level and new all-time highs. So as I say, we'll have to see how things go. If we take a look at the Bitcoin quarterly return, so hopefully we're in for a good couple of months. So if we take a look at the return of October, now we have still got another week to go, as I say, but not the best of Octobers, as you can see. Now, normally October is a very bullish month. We've only ever had 2 red Octobers in Bitcoin's history. We're only about 6.5% returns on this month, or this October so far. So could be a little bit better. But if we take a look at the Q4 return, we've looked at this before, but Q4 is usually the big quarter in terms of Bitcoin returns. And as you can see, we have only just got started at 6.5%. So hopefully we've got a big November and December coming. Of course, we've got the election coming up. We've got FOMC, probably more rate cuts as well. So we'll have to see how that impacts the market. But let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen over the next few weeks. Do you think that we're going to pump after the election? Do you think the FOMC rate cuts are going to be bullish? And let us know what projects you're bullish on going into the latter stages of the bull market. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.